The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the December 1st, terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go look at the circumstances of what the bulls and the bears, the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I. And I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. More importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Dial on in, 877-927-6648. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, internationally, you can reach us at 727-445-1044. Of course, you can reach out by email, steve@tfnn.com. Of course, inside the Tiger's Den, you can go ahead and ping me. I'll get to your instant message as soon as I possibly can. But let's get things started here on this terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got the Dow trading up 116 points. She's trading out at 17,836. S&P up 14 points at 2094. NASDAQ Composite up about 30 points at 5138. Russell 2000 is flat on the day. The DAX closed down 121 points. The FTSE closed up 40. Gold is flat. It's off a buck trading at 1064. Silver is up 1 penny at 1406. Light sweet crude back about 17 pennies, trading at 41.47. Leading the charge here to the upside, it is Priceline. That's up 31 bucks, 2.5%. Google is up about almost 3%. That's up about $20. Amazon up 14 bucks, 2%. Acorn International, what? Up 501%. It's at 1480. Must be some kind of buyout or something going on there. LinkedIn is up 7 bucks. Allergan is up 6. Tesla's up about 550 or so. To the downside, Cummins Inc. They're down 7% off $7 and change. Bluebird Bio down 7% as well. That's $6.40. MPLX, don't know what they are. Multiplex down 15%. Don't know that it's really multiplex, but they're down 15%. Kite Pharma off $6. Baidu down about 5. AutoZone off $5. So let's begin our day. Where do we begin? I think we begin our day where we left off yesterday. Now, yesterday was very easy. It came on the show. It was very easy to be able to show you a pattern that said, hey, guess what? There's a bottom that's in. We're going to see a bounce. And you and I saw that during the show out there. And that was coming from our 10-minute chart out here. And I'll put that 10-minute chart out here because it actually completed another pattern. Now, we saw that bounce. Let me get my cursor over here. We saw that bounce take place right about here, right around the 12 noon time frame. Price went up, made about a 61% retracement. That's from this little swing point out here at 8 o'clock in the morning down to the swing point at 12 noon. Again, it's a 10-minute chart that you and I are looking at. Overnight, then we saw price move down lower, in essence, into the close out here, about 3:30. And as price was moving lower into the close at 3:30, guess what it was doing? Moving lower, less relative weakness out there. That's always a sign of a potential reversal. You don't know till, in this case here, until the bulls show up, till the cavalry. And in fact, they did between 3:30 and 3:40. Nice big old bullish engulfing candle. Price just hung out at the bottom of its TAS market profile and took right off at about 4:40 in the afternoon. Now, what took place here today at about 10 o'clock this morning, if we take a look at it, you've got an A to B equals CD pattern that completed out here. Now, it wasn't exact. The exact number would have been 2097 and 3 ticks out there, 0.75. Instead, price got up to, it looks like, about 1 tick below that. I think the high was, come on, do this. Work with me. We're on the air. 209.7, 2 ticks below, 209.7.25. You completed A to B equals CD. In this case here, was pretty much almost Johnny on the spot. Price went ahead and pulled back. We're really just trading, in essence, sideways here. Now, sideways, I'm referring to the futures market. Obviously, the markets are up, but we haven't seen a ton of movement. In essence, since 10 o'clock, we've seen some movement lower, some movement higher. We're just kind of at about the 50-yard line, or at least the market is. Now, are there any other signals on the 10-minute chart? There aren't. So in doing the show today, or this morning, or this afternoon, I should say right now, there are no signals coming from really a 5-minute chart, a 10-minute chart, 30-minute chart. The only charts that are showing us any kind of signals out here, potential signals, are coming from the 5-hour charts and the 2-hour charts. In the 5-hour chart, as an example, if we take a look at the NQ futures, and again, the reason why you and I take a look at the futures contract during the show out here is because if you're just simply only looking at, for example, the ETFs, say the Qs, the IWM, the SPYs out there, you are so void of information to be able to make your trading decisions. You don't have a hill of, you can't figure out what the real message is that's out there. So that's why we use these, because we take a look at these patterns. They present themselves in a nice, efficient manner. And then you can go make your trading decisions on any of those vehicles that you trade out here. In this case here, the NQ, this is the 5-hour chart. And it's important to pay attention to this because the NQ, for the most part, has been the leader to the upside. If we take a look at, remember when we had that move to the downside last week on Monday? It was when was it last week or was it the week before? Well, I'll tell you when it was. It was November 15th, so it was 2 weeks ago. When we had the crazy, nasty terrorist stuff that was going on over in Paris out there, and of course futures opened lower, but it was already in one of those 7th wave counts to the downside, and that 7th wave to the downside count went ahead and confirmed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Made the trade relatively easy because your stop is right below the low of that candle session. And oftentimes when you get to that 7th wave, can't tell you why, that's where you can see some significant moves. Now, if you take a look at coming off of that bottom versus where we're at right now, we've got a potential 7th wave count. Now, 5-hour chart. So this time frame here doesn't complete till 2 p.m. That means you can't be until the contract closes, till the end of the day out here, before we could even get that confirmation. It may not come then, and so therefore it may not come until about 9 o'clock at night, or maybe it's going to be 2 o'clock in the morning again. And now, just because we get that confirmation doesn't mean anything. Well, you know what it does mean is that we want to keep our eyes glued to the screen here, because not only are we in the same 7th wave that set off that bottom where people thought that the market was going to fall out of bed and that was it was toast. The reality is, you and I take a look at these patterns. We looked at them on a 10-minute chart yesterday to help us guide what the market wanted to do. As I say, those patterns aren't out there in the 10-minute, otherwise we'd focus on them, but they work on all time frames. We go to a larger time frame, it actually has more meaning for you and I. And we also see that just like we took a look at the 2 bottoms that formed yesterday, and actually the high that formed earlier in the morning yesterday, price was moving in both cases either higher with less relative strength or lower with less relative weakness out here. Now we've got the NQ on the 5-hour chart moving higher with less relative strength out here. The bears have not shown up. So this is just it's like a pattern. It's like a very good weather forecaster saying, just be careful here. That's all. Nothing bearish. Don't sell the market, for goodness sakes. I think we already covered that last week, unless you believe that you want to be on the side of the 13%ers out there, because there's an 87% chance that the market closes higher as we come into the end of the year. And there's nothing here that indicates that that's not going to repeat itself. If we take a look at the Russell 2000, which has also been strong, let's take a look at that on the 5-hour time frame. We pointed this out to you yesterday, and that yesterday morning at 9 o'clock, price had moved higher. No 7th wave move out here, but it moved higher, less relative strength out there. Nice little bearish engulfing candle. So the cavalry to the downside, the bears did show up in the market. That pattern is absolutely in place, and not until the Russell 2000 takes out the high of 1208. Now, the Russell, as we mentioned when we took a look at the show a few minutes ago, at the open, the Russell was pretty much flat out there. Well, this is one of the reasons why. Now, that doesn't mean go sell the Russell 2000. In fact, I mean, the Russell 2000 is the strongest of the 4 indices. Yeah, we're going to focus in on the NQ, but don't be selling the Russell 2000. That's not the weak link out here. We've got a pattern that's in place that's going to be very helpful to help us understand the next moves out here. Prices just simply come down. It's found support at its TAS market profiles where it should. If we go take a look at those 5-hour charts out here, let's pull those up on the screen. What we can see here, the NASDAQ is in the upper left. The Russell is in the lower right. You can see that it's found support here, both at the bottom of its 300-minute time frame, as well as the top of its daily time frame. So this 1194 level should be very strong support. If it fails, then we can take a look at where price will move to, but that should be extraordinarily strong support. Now, in the case of the NASDAQ, which is really the instrument that will go ahead and move the markets higher, if in fact that's going to occur, it simply needs to clear the top of its daily box. We just took a look at the Russell 2000. It's above resistance, the top of its daily box. Forget about the 300-minute time frame out here. Just focus on the blue horizontal lines, the blue TAS market profiles. Look at the NQ to the left out there, and you'll see that it's run into resistance at that 470675 level. So if in fact you see the NASDAQ close above that area, again, guess what? Then there's really no more resistance in the way of price moving higher. There is the issue with regard to moving higher with less relative strength out there. That's an issue, and until that issue goes away, that's something we have to pay attention to. Inside of the ES Mini, it's above its daily market profile as well, so there's no problem there. It's just dealing with its 300-minute time frame resistance level at the 2092 area. The Dow, on the other hand, it's struggling to get over the daily profile number 17,884. That's the Dow futures. So you want to be paying attention to that as well. So that gives you, I mentioned the 2-hour charts that also have similar type patterns out there. Those 2-hour charts, let me see where they are before I just punch it up on the screen. Was it there? No, it wasn't coming there. Was it coming from here? No, it wasn't there. It must just be the Russell. So it's just the Russell 2000. Yeah, so if I put the 2-hour chart out here, it's the only one that also, now in the case of the 2-hour chart, remember the 5-hour chart was not in that 7th wave. The 2-hour chart is. So, and we've covered the Russell, I think, and we know that price has moved down to a support level, old resistance, now new support. So that may be the end of that 7th wave out there. And again, if price gets above that level, expect the Russell 2000 to what's that commercial? Is it Mazda? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Just expect it and anticipate that it'll continue zooming to the upside out there. So that covers the equity. Now, if we take a look at what's going on inside the, let's look at the Qs here real quickly. We'll come back. We'll take a look at the Qs as well. Just follow up to yesterday's question about the Qs, the equal weight versus the weighted ETF. Somebody asked if I had any more information on it, and I do. But if we take a look at the Qs, the swing point that it's dealing with is July 20th. Shoot, it's way above that. That's really not an issue. The Qs moving into its most recent swing point from November 4th. That's got 28 million. You've done 15.8. Volume is probably just a tad lighter than what was out there on that trading day of November 4th, but that top is going to get tested. That's 115.47. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
TigerTV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. TigerTV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. Dow's up 108, S&P's up about 13, Composites up 26 points. Mentioned the Qs before we went to the breakout here, and it's just a quick check on the volume. So that swing point that it's dealing with from November 4th out there had 28 million shares. You're on pace to do somewhere close to 28 million shares, so you're moving into the swing point with similar type of volume out there, as long as the Qs close above. If you're going to go ahead and use swing point analysis on the ETFs, and I'll tell you that using that type of system on the ETFs for the indices, it'll get you into more trouble than it's worth out there. Stocks, whole different matter out here. But nonetheless, if you do close with inside the swing point, those rules apply. 114.54 is the number. You're 114.69. Says you go test the high. Here's what you and I know about the Qs out here. And it's mostly bullish information. Number one, the Qs broke out. Nice wide price spread, accelerated volume back on October 23rd. That was with 54 million shares. Price came back to test the breakout area. It did it on November 13th. It did that test with 52 million shares. So came back to a breakout area with similar volume. Then on the very next day, 33 million shares, just simply to cement that level of support. Now price is just trading with inside this little consolidation zone between the 110 area to the 115-ish type area out here. If it takes that level out, meaning the high of November 4th, with more than 100 or at 115.47 with more than 28 million shares, that sets up an A to B equals CD to the upside out there. Now we did a study. As we didn't do a study, we looked at the analysis of the weighted ETFs inside the Qs, a weighted structure as well as the non-weighted structure out there. And someone asked me if I had any more information, on the Qs that I could share. And the answer is I do. The Qs have been, I've seen a lot of information that's been disseminated. You always have to be careful about the dissemination of information. Hey, that includes even coming from me, right? Because sometimes we just simply use information or statistics to validate our own belief system, right? But in the case here, so I'll just give you the information and you decide what to do with it. But the question I asked inside the Tiger's Den during the break is, and I'll ask you this question, what are the top 5 holdings with inside the Qs? And oh, by the way, there is 109 holdings, constituents with inside the NDX 100. So we really do need to call it the NDX 109 out here. So I did go ahead and confirm that. I got that confirmation inside the Tiger's Den yesterday while I was doing the show out there. But I went ahead and did a little bit further analysis. So the top 5 holdings with inside of have had the highest returns inside the Qs. Only one of them is in the top 10 is one of the top 10 weighted stocks inside the Qs. Right, and a lot of people are saying it's just 5 or 6 or 10 stocks that are holding up the market out here. Hogwash. It's absolute. It's not even realistic to believe that those are the facts out there. The facts are Netflix is the number one, has provided the number 1 return out there. Now Netflix is the number 25th weighting with inside of the NDX 100. Only 1%, a little less than 1% as of yesterday's close out there. It's up about 151% out there. Amazon is the one symbol, this one constituent that is in the top 10. It's number 3 from a weighting structure. That's about 5.8%. It's up 113%. Now, this is as of yesterday's close. I don't have an easy way to do this based on doing it live. It's just something in a little spreadsheet that I've got. Number 3 out here, let's take a look at it, by the way. Activision, ATVI is the ticker symbol. That's got the 3rd highest return inside of the NDX 100. Now, its weight is number 40 on the list out there, but that's where somebody says it's only the 8 equities that are holding the market up out here. Hey, number 40 is the 3rd. It's got the 3rd highest return from the opening of the calendar year in January to where we closed yesterday. And that's made a return of 86% out here. Now, if we take a look at Activision, you can see it's trading at 38.52. I imagine it's at all-time highs, but let's not imagine. Let's just put this back on a monthly chart out here. Let's just confirm that out here. Yeah, so far, so good. Yeah, so Activision, heck of a nice run out here. Now, let's just take a look at what it's doing on its daily chart, see if there's anything. The last breakaway that it had with big volume, accelerated price out here, wide price spread. That was back on November 3rd, and that did volume there of, let's see if I can read it here, volume of 44 million shares out here. Price is traded above that right now. That's not actually the swing point. The swing point high would be November the 5th at 37.86. That had volume of 10 million shares. You've done 4.8 today. So it says you do probably somewhere around 5, but I don't see anything that's negative here, anything significantly bearish. Price is moving higher inside Activision. It is doing it with less relative strength out there. So that's not necessarily that great. Hey, number four, NVIDIA. NVIDIA's had a return of 58% out there. That's the weighting. It's number 65. Insight Corp, and that's gotten demolished. That got crushed with some of the other biotechs out there. That's still number 5 with a 55% return. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. NADEX, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, NADEX allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. NADEX never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization optimization capability. NADEX's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. NADEX's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the NADEX banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN has just announced a brand new morning lineup that is geared specifically for traders in this volatile traders market. Every morning at 8 a.m., John Logan starts things off with his daily program, The Global Market Pulse. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento trades the market during the market open Monday through Friday on Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom O'Brien hosts the Money Masters for the hour, and Basil Chapman hosts his Tiger Technicians Hour at 11 a.m. From 8 a.m. till noon every market day, these traders are with you as they provide up-to-the-second market information so that you can make the most educated and profitable trades possible. The new TFNN morning lineup is happening right now. Tune in to see for yourself what kind of actionable trading discussion they have each morning, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m., live only on TigerTV at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back. Dow's up 93 right now. S&P is up 10. Composites up 19. A little bit more information on the Qs. We'll take a look at the bottom side of it. But if you look at the return, just the top 10 holdings that have given the best return since the calendar year 2015 open. Number 1 is Netflix. Number 2 is Amazon. Again, 150% and then 113%. Activision, an 86% return. NVIDIA, 57% return. You don't hear too much about these companies, but Insight up 55%. Starbucks up 50%. Electronic Arts up 43%. Google's up 43%. Monster Beverage up 40%. O'Reilly Automotive is up 37%. Fiserv. You haven't even gotten down to, what Facebook Facebook, Amazon, right? We did take a look at Amazon. We did get, Netflix and Google, but you've got plenty of other stocks. Adobe Systems is up 25%. eBay is up 25%. To the downside, the equities inside the NDX 109 out here, you've got Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. That's the worst performer, down 61% from the beginning of the year. That also happens to be number 100 in the NDX 109 out here. GMCR is the ticker symbol out here. Let's go see if GMCR's Green Mountain Coffee Roaster is going to be throwing any kind of lifeline anytime soon out here. It's trading right now at 52.27. This thing had gapped away. Here's your resistance line inside of Green Mountain, and that's really, well, you've got one that's really here. You have to say it's pretty much up in this level, around the $61 level. You're at about 52.24. If you get above 61.21, Green Mountain can make it all the way up to 74.79. It can make it more than that, but $74 and change is where it would run into resistance. Wynn Resorts, that is that would be, that has had a return of about 57%, negative 57%, that is, by the way. WYNN, whoops, Wynn, not this Wynn, but WYNN is the ticker symbol. This thing has been crushed. No real signs of strength here off of the bottom, really consolidating right now between about $77 and $51 out there. Micron Technology, MU, that has had a return of minus 54%. Now, they've had a little bit of a drag inside of the NDX, but, weighting wise, they're number 64, 103. 101 out here. In the case of Micron, we do see higher bottoms out here, so that's a slight positive. If we take a look at just simply this line, so we are seeing, a bit of support out here. The thing is that where it's got really horizontal resistance is right at this level, which is about $20.60 out here. So, it could be on its way up towards that area with these rising bottoms, but 2060 should, in fact, be a significant level of resistance inside of Micron. But the reality is, if you take a look at the 109 equities with inside the NDX 100, I can tell you, well, I'll count them here. Give me a moment. We'll count them. There are a total of, and it just really represents the market, in my opinion. There are a total of 60 equities, 60 within the 109. So, slightly just less than 60% have had a positive return with inside of the NDX 100. So there's a lot of heavy lifting. There's a lot of lifting. That's why when we took a look at the equal weighted ETF, we saw that the equal weighted ETF was moving just fine. It is not just 8 or 10 stocks that are moving the markets higher. There are 60 stocks within the NDX 100 that are doing the lifting out there. Now, we can, that doesn't mean that those top 8 stocks, aren't doing a lot of that lifting out here, but it's more than just that out there. So I want to make sure that we set the record straight for the NDX 109 out here. Now, let's take a look at some of these. Priceline's not in that, by the way, but let's take a look at Priceline and see what it's doing. PCLN, that's up $27, up 2%. And we know that Priceline has got that, I'll show you an island reversal. That's pretty amazing. But in the case of Priceline, it's got this island top at all-time highs. Not a good scene out here for Priceline. You'd have to say that at this stage of the game, Priceline just has a little bit of a counter-trend rally, although a nice counter-trend rally. Let's look at volume today. So far, it's done volume of about 410,000 shares, but it moved lower with 1.7 million shares, so it's not doing that. 1294 is going to be the resistance zone inside, or at least the next resistance zone for Priceline if it does continue to try to gradually move higher out there. LinkedIn, let's take a look at the LNKD up 2 3/4%. This here had has a big island bottom pattern out here. That island bottom going from July 31st to October 29th. So that is a fairly long-term island bottom. However, LinkedIn has got a lot of these little gap away areas out here, typically around earnings time. So hey, the reality is it's made a strong comeback, considering it was all the way up at the 270 level, and this was back in February of this year, and moved all the way down to on August 24th, down to the lows in the 165-ish type range. So that's been a nice comeback inside of LinkedIn. Autozone, I did mention Autozone, I believe, was inside the NDX 100, one of the better performers through the year, throughout the 2015. Right now, pulling back, volume on it today is 114,000 shares. Moved kind of sideways yesterday with pretty good volume inside this equity. That means pretty good volume is 391,000 shares out here. What is it doing? You know, that's a great question. Let's put this, I'll put it on a weekly basis. Problem is we just had a holiday week, so I can't really benchmark last week, right? In the case of AutoZone, the highs out here that was pushing beginning of the week of November 2nd, it was doing that with 1.3 million shares. It's only Tuesday. It's pulling back. If it gets below 774.09, a pretty good chance that where AutoZone is going to try to find support is somewhere around the September 21st level, you know, in the 726 to 758 type range out there. And it's trading at 776 as we speak right now, and that is on AutoZone. What else? Oh, Cummins. Oh, I mentioned the island bottom. This is a heck of an island bottom. Let me put this back to the daily chart out here, and this is strong like Thor. Now, is Thor one of those characters out there? I'm not I can tell you I've never owned a comic book. Never have I read an entire comic book. Pretty tough for me to get much, to even read much of a comic strip inside the newspaper. Of course, these days we don't really read newspapers too much, right? We get most of our news by reading certain papers inside digitally, but I think Thor was some type of character out there. THOR, I thought that was, it's THO is a ticker symbol. THO is a ticker symbol for Thor, and this does look like a super hero out here. This thing, look at this gap up today, and look what it created. The island of island bottoms. This thing here, this one, remember we just took a look at one Netflix, not LinkedIn, but this one here, I think that one went back to July. This one goes back to June. So June 5th, the Thor breaks away to the downside, does it with volume of about 1.6 million shares. Pretty wide price spread, accelerated volume. Now, all prices done here so far today has come back to the level where it broke down, which is 62.46. But no, nonetheless, while it did that, and the island went and was formed all the way up until today. And so in this case here, this gaps away today, runs into resistance, starts pulling back. It's got good volume in it, 796,000 shares so far today. If we pull this back, but that's a huge island bottom. So if Thor can get above 62.46, no reason for it to not make a run for the next level of resistance. And I suspect this is what it wants to do, which is right around the 64.71 type level. And that is the swing points out here. And so really what Thor looks like to me, it's really in more of a consolidation than it is anything else, which is pretty positive if it can actually close above 64.71. Don't know that it will, but if it can, that would be very positive. So that's THO as the ticker symbol out there, Thor Industries. I don't recall what they do, but in any event, one of the largest island bottoms that I have, that I recall seeing out here. Currencies. Let's go take a look at currencies. We haven't done any of that here today. A U.S. dollar index pulling back, down 330 ticks, down 33 cents, straight out at 99.88, give or take a few ticks out here. But we know that the U.S. dollar index is the basket of currencies, primarily led by the euro. So we got to take a look at the euro. That's up 630 ticks or so. If we pips, let's take a look at it. It is right now trying to get back inside the lower range, which means above the swing point. It's a weekly, it's a daily chart you and I are looking at. It's trying to close above March 16th. March 16th high is 1.06.19. It's got a bullish reversal signal today. We haven't seen a bullish reversal signal inside the euro here for quite some time. If it can close above 1.0619 today, that would be short-term bullish. That would absolutely be now. What does short-term bullish mean? Well, it would mean that price ought to then try to get up to the 108 level. That 108 level was the swing point area that you would have thought would have held. That was from back on May 27 of 2015, as well as the lows at the swing level of July 20th. So 108 is about where it would move to. If it can do that, that's going to move the U.S. dollar index back further, or should move it back further. So you're seeing the first signs of a potential reversal inside of the euro, and that's taking a look at the daily time frame. If we take a look at the Great British Pound, you and I looked at this pattern yesterday, and that pattern was this little descending channel line that it's in. Let me go ahead and get rid of the retracements out here, just simply because it clogs up the chart. So let's do that. Let's turn those off. And what we noticed was that, this yesterday we said that should be a fairly decent bottom inside the Great British Pound. So if this too has found a bottom, which looks like it has not, and then look, if it breaks through there, it doesn't change the trend. But, we're just taking a look at this price channel that price has been traveling within, and it made it down to the bottom, and it has since bounced off of that. And if this continues to move higher, that too would go ahead and put some weakness inside of the U.S. dollar index out there. Remember, we take a look at these patterns, and you and I were always willing to change our view of what the charts are telling us as soon as it provides you and I with more information. Yesterday, the euro didn't look like it had any kind of bottom in place. Today may be a different story out there. If we take a look at the Japanese yen, remember we took a look at this consolidation pattern. We looked at this, and we looked at the Japanese yen versus the U.S. dollar in order to try to understand what the Nikkei might do. Remember, the Nikkei, we saw a Gartley sell pattern. But because we know of the directional correlation between it and the Japanese yen, we went over and we said that the currency would rule the world, meaning the Japanese Nikkei world out there. And we said, hey, this is not showing us any kind of reversal. So I would not be selling. I would not sell that Gartley sell pattern. And of course, we saw the Nikkei overnight close up substantially. I don't remember the exact percentage. We can look at it. But it was up, as you probably know at this stage here, it was up pretty big. Now, when we take a look at the Japanese yen here, even though it's pulling back, it's not really providing you and I with any kind of significant message that, hey, it's done weakening out here. So that is not its message. But you do have that potential message right now today from the euro and the Great British Pound out here. So that's what's going on with that set of currencies. If we look at, as well as the U.S. dollar index, if we take a look at light sweet crude, we haven't done that for a couple of days. It's been flat out here. So let's go see what it is doing. It continues to trade with inside its lower swing point, which is from the trading session of August 24th, and that's between 42.67 and 39.97. Until it does something else, you have to assume that it's going to go test the low. When I say something else, it would be just like the euro, where it's now back above a swing point, so it's rejecting that. We don't have volumes on that. So in the case of the euro, we can only look at what kind of candle does it form. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? And is it rejecting a swing point, a top or a bottom? So inside of light sweet crude, until it gets above 42.67, the preponderance of evidence says 39.97 becomes its next test area. Natural gas, it is flat as we speak right now. Nothing bullish here. The candle that formed yesterday, no, it's not a bullish reversal signal out here. So, nothing there inside of natural gas. If we take a look at what else should we look at? Bonds. How about the move in bonds today? Large move inside of the treasuries. You've got the 10-year note up really at the near the high of its session out here. If we take a look at just simple retracement, so you got the market moving higher, you got bonds that are moving higher. It's taken out that 0.382 retracement level, just like a hot butter knife slicing through that Kerrygold butter. Looks to me like the 10-year wants to make its way up to 128 and change out there. The 30-year as well, also having a similarly nice move. It's also up near the top of its trading range for the day. And if we take a look at just a simple retracement, it's moved into that level above the 0.618 area with a wide-ranging bar. This has 158 and change written all over it, at least if it closes like this today. No reason why it should pull back. Dow's up 95. S&P is up 11. If we take a quick look here at the price oscillator, still the Dow that's struggling, just slightly below zero. But otherwise, all clear for the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. See Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
It's true. Life is all about choices. At Everbank, they're making it easy for you to make a smart one with this special cash offer. Open a new yield pledge money market account with funds from another financial institution, or deposit new funds into an existing yield pledge money market account, and you could earn up to a $500 cash reward. And if you're opening a new account, you'll also get their new higher 6-month bonus interest rate, along with their yield pledge promise that ensures your yield will always be in the top 5% of competitive accounts at banks nationwide. Open a new account or add to one. It's your choice. To qualify, you must meet balance and other limited time offer requirements. Go to everbank.com/TFNN for details and deposit options, or speak with one of their banking specialists at 1-855-750-4051 for more information. You must act by December 31st, 2015 to be eligible. Everbank is a member FDIC.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome Welcome back, folks, as we cruise into the last 4 minutes here of the final segment. The Dow being up 97, S&P up 11, Composites up 24, Russell just up slightly. If we go check in on the IWM, it's up 36 cents, 16 million shares traded in it today. It's rejecting the swing point. So now the swing point from November the 6th, the top of which is 119.36, acting as a resistance out here. Its next move was up to the 121 type area. The real key inside the IWM, as we mentioned earlier, it's really going to come, the signal will come from the 5-hour chart, the 2-hour chart inside of the Russell 2000 futures contract out there. You get above the most recent highs. And again, that number to be watching, 1208, and it'll just simply continue moving topside out here. So there's nothing that looks ugly with regard to part of my hotcom is showing. Don't know. Oh, that's weird. Don't know what you're saying, Steve-O. Sorry about that. But in any event, so there's really nothing weak about the IWM. And so you've got the SPY. Let's take a look at the SPYs as an example. The SPYs were pushing, I believe they were pushing highs yesterday with volume. So the swing point, the highs I'm referring to, by the way, are the swing point that it's dealing with, which was November 3rd. That had 95 million shares. And yesterday you were actually pushing up into it with 112 million shares. It did reject it on price, but that said, hey, you'll be back up there. And that's what it's done so far today. It is back up there. The key number to be watching is 209.70 or 209.73 as we speak right now. Volume today, or so far, is a bit lighter, 58 million shares. Let me see if I can figure out what that equates to here. Give me a moment. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try to get all the way back. Oh, that didn't work either. What's the deal here? There we go. Give me a moment. We'll get to it. So volume inside of the SPYs right now, as I mentioned, about 58 million. We've done almost 4.5 hours into the trading session. So a little bit lighter volume today, about 83 million shares. But, still almost within 10% of that 95 million share deal out here. So, again, the bigger signal probably comes from the NQ, and it comes from the Russell 2000. And we, of course, we know the larger. Well, I did mention the summation index and the price and the not the price oscillator, but the advanced decline oscillator inside the Dow out here. It is just slightly below zero. If it can close above zero out here, it's the only thing that's really holding the market back. So it's not the Russell, it's not the NQ, it is not the ES, it's not the SPYs. What's holding the market back from moving onward is the Dow. And if it can get into a bullish state, which really just needs probably about one or two more issues to be moving higher today, what we should see is the Dow head to 17,977 and or higher out there. But it certainly wants to get up to that level. You're trading at 17,824. So that's the only real so-called negative, I'm going to trade sideways thing that is going on inside of the market. So, folks, it is a terrific Tuesday. That means we've got our full lineup, which has got David White coming up next, Tom O'Brien from 3 to 5, Andy Heck from 5 to 6. At TFNN, we've got this great promotion going on for Tiger Dollars. Look, to do yourself a favor, because there's nothing more powerful than education. We know that's why you tune in to the show. So whether it's newsletters, whether it's other workshops that we do around here, when somebody's asking you, hey, what can I get for you? Don't forget about Tiger Dollars. Plus, your gift is going to be a gift that keeps on giving, because a portion of it is going to go to the Salvation Army. So stay tuned, folks. David White is up next. Have a terrific Tuesday. I'll see you on wonderful Wednesday. Take care.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.